So I'm glad you've all made it today. Thank you for coming. As you can see, many industries are present today. On the screen, you can see that many companies have gathered together today. And today, why are we here at the Palais des Nations? It's to really talk about the UN and more precisely about UNEP, the environmental program of the UN. So today you will learn more about this organization. What do they do? Why do they do it? And why it is so important for the future generations.
It's a great pleasure to be here with you today because we in the United Nations Environment Program obviously have the strongest link with the national governments. The governments are represented in our governing council, and they decide on the program of work which we carry out. But we understand that in order to keep the improvement of the global environment going, we need to speak not only to the national governments, we need to speak to all partners who are involved, and definitely the private sector is one of the most important partners in terms of setting the long-term visions and in terms of delivering on the environmental objectives. So that is why we are keen in engaging in such discussions, such as will take place today. I will try to explain a little bit about what UNEP is doing in Europe, and I would start with saying that if we look at Europe, the pan-European region is a very diverse region. It's obviously the European Union is a strong bloc, but it's not including everyone. Well, the country where we are in today is not part of the European Union, but in many ways the environmental policies here in Switzerland would be similar to the EU ones. But then you have other countries in the region, including Russia, including the post-Soviet countries, and there we can find still the world's most extreme pockets of poverty, and the environmental degradation in those countries is really of a different caliber than what is the situation in the West European or Central European.
That transition and what needs to be done if we want to shift from brown economy to green economy. And one of the main conclusions is that if we invest just 2% of the global GDP, we can indeed kickstart that green economy. And so we felt the need to develop an awareness program who would indeed explain in very simple terms what we mean by green economy. And we also really wanted to suggest concrete actions for Europeans to act 8 months before this summit. So what can I do in my everyday life if I want to join this movement of greener economies? And we've taken the 10 key economic sectors, and we will, up until June, suggest 10 concrete actions that Europeans can take. And you may know that it's the end of the International Year of Forests, and so we've picked up forestry as the first key sector, and we are suggesting a very, I think, easy action for citizens to take. If they buy a t-shirt that we call tree shirt, we're going to replant a tree, and we're going to then green up the forestry sector in Europe. And the centerpiece of GreenUp is this cross-media platform, this web platform where citizens can find easy information about the green economy and where citizens will find the suggested actions month by month. And the tree shirt has been designed by Vivienne Westwood, British fashion designer that you may know. But the objective of presenting it to you today is that we would like to upscale GreenUp. There is a platform, we would like this platform to be much more interactive.
Now, you are all gathered here together. How you as companies can partner up with Europe. We have a few examples here on screen. For example, Deloitte, which is an audit firm, a well-known Big Four audit firm, how could they partner up with UNEP? They have a certain know-how in sustainable reporting, so they could partner up with UNEP and say, listen, this is our focus. We want to show how companies can audit their firms in a greener way. Or you have Caterpillar, for example, that makes new with old machines, the remanufacturing strategy of Caterpillar. So basically with old machines, they try to make new machines. So instead of recycling and putting it down to waste, they can make new with old machines. IBM, for example, which is present today, they are leaders in the IT business for many years, and they have a real know-how in green IT. So they could put this forward and really show on the web platform how they would like to communicate this leadership and this expertise. Then we have Givaudan, the perfume worldwide leader. Some of you today probably wear perfume that comes from Givaudan without knowing it. So they are leaders in producing perfume. And how do they get the perfume? When they go on expeditions worldwide, they have to do ethical sourcing. They have to make sure that they take out enough flower and perfume without harming the environment. So again, they could communicate through and with UNEP on how they do this and how they get this together.
Canon, the focus on your world, is not just only taking pictures. It is about showing us the state and trends of environmental conditions all across the world. And Google Earth, a fantastic initiative we have with them to highlight some of the environmental hotspots today or in the coming years. Quickly, what do you get out of it in terms of, or how do you benefit others? I would rather put it that way. How do you benefit others? Tools for CSR. I don't know how many of you, I'm sure you know, the Global Reporting Initiative, which UNEP is very much involved in, if you look at what we do in the context of CSR.
And I thank Jan Duzik and Isabelle Valentini for speaking, as also Wendy. And also behind the screens in preparation, Heidi and Leila, who have helped Isabelle set this up. So thank you very much to them too. And we are happy to distribute you some documentation before you go. So thanks again